Come on, man.
What in the world, Frank?
What are you posting on here?
Yeah, man.
What are you posting?
What's up with your boy?
What happened, dude?
Talk about it tonight because there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot to talk about. And I don't even, we don't be on no celebrity news stuff, but I think there's a lot to unpack in this situation, not only with what happened, but the public response to it. You know what I mean? And then also how do people potentially end up there? And then we could go a whole different route too. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So before we get there, though,
I'm gonna put a bet on the show. I bet you're siding with Chris Rock.
Nah, I bet you that
I know I got it right because now you're nervous.
No. Because my take on the whole thing is gonna be so not what you're thinking. You know what I mean? Potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. But before we dive into that whole thing, you know what I mean? I think what we want to look at is this. Actually, you know what? I did share it to my Facebook page.
You did.
I did. You know why? Because the people are so used to seeing it on my regular Facebook page. I had to share it, and then hopefully everybody could catch it, all of our regulars.
Yeah.
But because we want to start to build up the Facebook actual page for the Uncut show. So if you guys are in the house, go ahead and holler at us. Let us know you're in the building. Thank you for stopping in. So Donnie, before we dive into this whole thing, how you doing, man? How was the week, bro?
I'm good, man. Everything's good. Smooth
sailing.
Yeah. Doing some life changes, saving some money, trying to lose some weight. We're getting there.
Okay. The American dream. Lose weight, save money.
I'm pretty sure the American dream is to get fat and spend all your money, but
for real, you might be
it's
right.
Somebody's dream.
Somebody's dream somewhere.
Somebody's dreaming. I mean? Everything's good. How about yourself?
Super good. I have a couple things going on. So I'm putting together an actual like in-person event, which I haven't done in a while because obviously like everything was kind of shut down with the COVIDos. Yep. So now that everything's kind of opening up, I'm planning for an event at the end of the month, which should be the first in-person event since we was doing Kings and Queens Academy. Pre-COVID.
Is this a personal event? Like, is this under Coach Brown or?
Yeah. Yep. So it'll be a Coach Brown event. I guess I could share the name of the event with you guys, but I did a video back in the day called "Cut the Shit." I also did a talk on it at Toastmasters. I'm turning that into an actual 2-day seminar that I think is going to be extremely powerful. So you guys stay tuned. I'll get you the information on that. So that's just where I'm at. You know what I mean? But man, what are your thoughts?
Big things.
Well, we gotta make things happen for real. But hey, what's your thoughts on this whole thing? You know what I mean? Because there's so many different opinions.
Yeah,
there's so many moving parts. Let's dive into it. Right, I had like almost a 2-hour conversation with you remember Joe that used to come on the show back in the day?
Yeah,
Andrew's brother. Yeah. We was on the horn for a while talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but that was one of the things. We was on the phone I said horn, but you know what I mean? We was on the phone for a while talking about a bunch of different things, and this was one of them. So what are your thoughts, man? What are you thinking?
See, it could either go two ways. The I don't know. I'm thinking it might be set up, right? I think it might be already planned. However, I think it was more embarrassment on Will's part because he was laughing at the jokes and then turned, looked at her and saw her pissed off. And he was like, oh shit, I need to do something now or I'm going to get slapped later. I think he got
Yeah.
nervous. I think he was like, "Shit's about to go down in my household if I don't react to this right now."
Well, you know what? One of the things that came up, and this is what inspired the episode. So I don't want you guys to think that we're on some celebrity gossip because
No,
we're not.
no.
What we're going to do is we're going to look at this a little bit deeper, um, and then also talk about how does someone potentially get to that place. You know what I mean?
Mm,
There's a lot of conversation right now on whether or not it was a real event, if it was staged. You know what I mean? So that's a whole separate conversation. But what we want to look at is this, you know what I mean? Because there are people who get to that point where they snap
yep.
and they do something crazy. Whether what happened between Will and Chris Rock was real or fake, that's a real life ordeal that happens.
Yeah.
So
That's
we
a
got to look
yeah.
at it. You know what I
That
mean?
happens all the time.
Exactly. So let's approach it from the standpoint of it being real. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um,
I think it might have been only
yeah.
because there was claims that the LAPD got involved, but nobody pressed charges. So I feel like if it was a stage event, we wouldn't even go into the fact that why are we bringing in the LAPD? Like, why is there a open, not an open case, but the potential to open a case?
Well,
I don't know.
Dana said, let's read what Dana said. Dana said, "Man, that shit was staged, bro." And you know
It's
what?
almost
I,
looking like that, but
I'm kind of with Dana. I'm like 60-40. I'm like 60
yeah, it's
tells
hard
me
to
it was some
tell. It's
fugazi
hard to
stuff, and
tell.
then the other 40 is like, it might have been real.
And the thing about it is, like, it boosted both of them. Like, they were both kinda dormant. I mean, yeah, Will came out with that new what was it, a new movie? He's got that new show. He's, like, producer of that new show. So, I mean, he's still there, but, what like, you talk about his shows, you're talking about his character in the show, like, his movie, and then you see, like, the Bel-Air show, it's not really Will at the front stage anymore. So, like,
Mm.
when this happened, it kinda boosted him up, like, everybody's been like, Will Smith hit the broadband of, like,
Yeah,
every
he broke the internet.
he broke the internet. And Chris Rock, I mean, just sold out, like, 3 shows, like, right after that happened. So, I
Yeah, no, I
mean,
saw that his ticket sales went like through the roof
right through the
after
roof.
the incident.
Like, to make millions off of it, yeah, I'd let you slap me in the face. I mean,
Oh, is that a bet? I'm just like,
if I'm making millions,
listen.
go
If
ahead.
one
You
of
could
us
punch
slap
me in
each
the
other,
right.
we're not breaking the internet. I promise you. We're
No,
gonna
we're
get
just
like
gonna
12
break our
views.
hands. We got big heads,
Real.
bro. We're just gonna break our hands.
But all right, let's dive into this. Let's break down the whole thing and then take a look at how
True
does
said, "I'll
someone
do it."
get to the joint. Oh, hold up. Let me go back to the comments. True for one. What up? True for one in the building. Dana said, like, let me slap you and go sit right back down.
Yeah.
Come on, man. No,
And then on his
exactly.
way back, on his way back walking down the stage, he was smirking. I mean, I don't know. It's
And on top of that, let's look at the slap. The formation of the slap was real like WWF style, like the form of the slap. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, if you ever seen somebody get slapped or you ever slap somebody in your life, the slap has a like when you slap somebody, there's a certain form to the slap, and there's a
yeah.
certain contact. Like a slap is like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Not he hit him
Yeah, but
like a
he
slide
wound
off.
up for that. Like, he came back and hit him.
But look how he finished. He finished like in a weird
Yeah,
Hollywood type of way. But
yeah.
let's not get caught up in all the semantics of that. Let's talk about this. If it was indeed
Did
real,
you say Will Smith is weak? Is that what you just said?
who me?
Oh, man.
No, I think he is.
Oh, man.
I think he is because if he's really out there slapping Chris Rock, it's like if that was real and all of these things have been happening to you, um, you definitely picked you definitely picked Chris Rock to be the one to catch the slap. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it was somebody else up there, like I think I forgot what I was looking at, but they was like, oh, if The Rock made that joke, he's not gonna go up there and slap The Rock. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Chris
So
Rock's
it's
kinda
like,
scrawny. I mean,
yeah, Chris
he's,
Rock's a little skinny,
yeah.
like dude. You know what I mean? So he kind
Yeah.
of he took advantage of that. So I can't respect that. But let's talk about this. How do you? Yeah, True
What's up,
401.
Truth?
What's good, man?
What's up, buddy?
True 401 in the building. Oh, you know what? We didn't give him his complimentary claps. Yeah, let's go. And Dana in there. Dana said Chris Rock leaned into that shit. All right, so let's talk about this. How do we prevent getting to a point where we lose control, right? And the reason
Mm,
why I bring that up is because I recently, like when I say recently, maybe a couple months ago, was in a situation where someone lost control. You know what I mean? And they lost control and they ended up in a really bad predicament off of the fact that they lost control for like a 5 minute span. They were just
Mhm.
fucking gone. They're
Yep.
screaming, they're yelling, they're doing all this craziness. And you know, that situation happened. Few days go by. The person's like, hey, I want to come in, I want to sit down, I want to talk, I want to like, let's talk this
Mhm.
out, right? And what I told that individual in that moment was this: losing control for like all it takes is for you to lose control for 1 second. You know what I mean? And do something crazy, and that can change your entire life. You know what I mean? Like, think about this: how many people are sitting in jail right now because they lost control for 1 second? Like they
Yep.
lost control and they did something in the heat of the moment, and it changed the rest of their life.
Yep.
But people lose control because, like me and you were talking about earlier, people lose control in that manner because people they harbor everything. They hold
Mm.
everything in. They don't express themselves. They just keep taking stuff and taking stuff and taking stuff. And then that wrong person on the wrong day
Yeah.
says something to you and they catch hell that you've been building up for the last 10 years. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's true. It's true. It's very unhealthy too. I mean, to hold anger and oh, wow.
What do you say? Let me see.
He's just like OJ. To hold
Yo,
in
for real.
anger, and stuff like that, like to keep that deep down inside to the point where you do snap. That's very unhealthy because like you said, in people in jail. I mean, I'm sure that some people in there. I mean, some people out there are like, they're in jail because they're supposed to be in jail. But like some people
Yeah.
probably just had a bad day, let life build up and snapped and completely ruined their life because of one 5 minute instance.
True 401 said Chris Rock looked the same size as he did in New Jack City. You get a laugh for that one. But yeah, no, for real. That's like slap. Well, I can't say that. That's too bad. That's too much. But yeah, that's real though. Same size he was in New Jack City. You out here slapping some skinny dude. You know what I mean? That's messed up. But you know, um,
It was like, how many times Will Smith has made a joke about somebody?
yeah. And the
Has
joke
like,
wasn't even crazy. It wasn't even like he was like, yo, it's not like he said something derogatory or
yeah, he
like,
just said
you know what I
no.
mean? I get it. Your wife has a medical condition that's causing her to lose her hair. But even at that, he didn't say anything malicious. He just said G.I. Jane.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like
she's got a
that's
military cut.
I'm not a comedian. That would have came to my mind just looking at
Yeah,
that. Because you look at something, you're like, what does that make me think of? All right, let
yeah.
me make a joke about it. You know what I
But
mean?
you know who he is. Like he cracks on everybody. Nobody's off
Hmm.
off the limits.
Yeah, for real.
Like he makes fun of everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what what I'm saying. Like specifically picked them out because he knows how cool they are. He knows, what I'm saying. Like he's probably friends with them. He's like, oh, I'm comfortable cracking this joke because I know there's not going to be any repercussions. I know that they're going to know I'm joking.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. But
It's
then it's like, how do we now? You know what's crazy? More crazy is this, right? Think about this. Because we talk about people being able to release and express themselves and not harbor stuff and you know what I mean, not get to the point where they lose control.
mm,
It's a different system now than it was back in the day because back in the day you did slap somebody or you did say but not slap somebody in the way he did. But for instance, if me and you like back in the day, say we were like, I don't want to say kids, but even kids, but say we were like teenagers or something.
yeah.
Me say
You're
you
way
said
older than me
something,
though.
but I'm just saying what I'm saying, like, say that same situation, you said something crazy to my lady, right? Um, or something I didn't like. At that moment, back in the day, it'd be like, boom, let's step outside. Now
Yeah.
you know that you're gonna fight. I know I'm gonna fight. Let's do our thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We fight. Winner wins, loser loses. Everybody goes their separate ways. You know what I mean? The man defends his lady. He
Yep.
keeps, he has the honor from his lady. Do 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 do. But nowadays, it's like you don't go to the fighting. You know what I mean? And that changed. Not to go too left, but I guess it's not left. That changed when people stopped fighting. When everybody got scared to fight and they start using weapons and all this craziness, then that forced society to go to a place where it's like getting into an altercation is no longer acceptable because it was at that extreme level of like, if I get into an altercation with you, you could
Yep.
potentially kill me. Rather than me and you roll around on the ground, I get a couple punches, you get a couple punches. You know what I mean? We get up, we talk our junk, and then we go our way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Now it's like nobody wants to wrestle. Everybody, you got to
No,
pull
because
something out. You
everybody's
got to
out
do
for
something
blood
crazy.
now. Not even
Exactly.
just back then. It was just black eyes. Now it's all blood.
Yeah, he said, and then Jada gave him the stink eye. That's 100% because he loved the joke at first. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? When you see it,
he
he was
was all
laughing.
into it.
He was like, "Yo, that's a good one, my
He was
guy."
all into it.
And then she looked at him like, "Yo, for real?" He was like, "Oh, my bad."
That's what I'm saying. It was either he gets slapped later, or he slaps now.
Facts, facts. He said people have hold on. People have certain limits when it comes to jokes. Some can take it and laugh. Others will take it to the heart.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
true, true,
For real,
true.
for real. But
So,
well, yep.
so what if you are the type of person to lose it quick, right? If you're the type of person to pop off like in like 5 minutes because of a joke or because of something not going your way or anything like that, what are some steps that we could possibly look into or advice to give to someone that is going through that?
Mm. Well, number one, the all right, so I'm gonna go, let me see. I'm gonna say three things. Just because I like I'm just off the top of my head. So I'm gonna say
Yep.
what are the top three I could say. Number one, actually, this is too good, so I'm gonna save it for number three.
Okay. You about to
But
give the all
yeah, I was
in
about to go
truth.
straight to the top of the mountain because that's the ultimate one. You know what I
Yep.
mean? But three things I would say for someone who loses it quick,
Yeah.
has a short fuse, flies off the handle. Um,
Well, here we go. What are the advices to give that person? And
mhm.
then what are some advices to give someone that's dealing with somebody that has a short fuse?
Mm, okay. So let me go two and two then, just to
Okay.
make so it's not like a long
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Number one, the first thing is if you're
No.
someone with a short
Oh,
fuse and
this is for the person. Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
the person with the short fuse, the person who's losing control, do. Uh Number one is you gotta start to look at, you know, what you're making things mean.
Yeah.
That's why people go crazy because something happens, and then rather than dealing with exactly what happened, they take actually they don't even take what happened. They're inside of a situation and they create something that's so much more than what actually happened. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So it's like say me and you have a situation where all right, let me not even say me and you. I'm gonna just use a different situation. Say I'm in a mall setting, right? And I'm walking through the mall and I step on some guy's sneaker. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now only thing that happened was I accidentally stepped on his sneaker. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that happened. But in his mind, he could easily be like, this guy stepped on my sneaker. He ruined my sneaker. He disrespected me. He thinks I'm a punk. Oh, he thinks I won't do nothing about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? All these things start
Yeah.
going. And now they're
It's
like,
true.
oh,
I
I got to
laugh
go.
because it's true. Like something so simple like that just it escalates to like tons and like it happens to me, but not with snapping. Like just simple like everyday things. You like, one thing leads to another, and then you start snowballing and you're like, wait a minute, go back to the beginning because this isn't, like you'll someone will be like, you think someone's upset, so like you'll be playing the scenario out in your head. And at the end, by the time you get there, you're mad back at them because of the scenario you just placed in.
So that's
It's so true.
honestly.
It's so true.
Oh, Megan in the house. Let's go. She said they need some breath work.
I don't know if you
100.
should have advised them to
100.
do that while they're mad at you. I don't know.
Like, yo, you need some breath work.
You need
But
to
nah.
breathe. It's like
But the
what?
thing about it is, number one is stop adding meaning to things that you know what I mean. You're
Yeah.
adding this meaning, which is creating this story and this whole scenario that actually didn't happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And people go from 0 to 100 because they're in a situation that's a zero, but their story makes it 100. Like you
Yep.
know what I mean? Like yo, this person, yo, they think I'm a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like I'm not soft. I'm this. I'm that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or whatever the case may be. You might be in an argument with your girl or your man. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, your girl comes home. She asked you to take out the trash before she left.
Mm.
She comes home, you didn't take out the trash, right? What happened? The only thing that happened was you didn't take the trash out. That
Yep.
she asked you to take the trash out, right? If we keep it there, nobody loses their cool. That's a conversation that we had. Hey, I asked you to take the trash out before I left, and you didn't take it out. Would you mind taking it out right now? You know what I mean? Do you need help
Yep.
taking it out? Did something happen? You know what I mean? That's a conversation. But
Yeah.
when she comes home and she sees the trash not taken out, and she's like, he didn't take out the trash. He was probably in there playing video games, or like he don't ever listen to me. And then like all these things start building up. And now by the time she comes to you, she's fighting you over 10 different things
Yeah.
when it was really only one thing that happened.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I
Yep.
mean? So we got to be careful not to start creating, not to start adding all this different meaning and building these scenarios and stories, and just deal with things as they are. Because
Mhm.
most of the things that happen in life, actually, a majority, 98% of the things that happen in life are very simple events. It's just our human nature to enhance and dramatize these events, to turn them into these big, overblown things.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I would say, well, let's see what Ben said. He said it all comes back to pride. Yeah. Yeah, my pride got hurt. Now I need to lash out. Exactly. It's the pride, and then it's the ego. Like, people have to really understand that if you haven't done the work to put your ego in the back seat, you know what I mean? To take your ego and put it behind you.
Yeah.
Because the ego is out in front. And the ego's out in front. Donnie, I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant now.
No, no, no.
Um
I'm trying to share something. Sorry. I know
no,
I'm
no,
over
I
here.
know, but I'm over here going on a rant. But
You're
people got to
fine.
realize that your ego is out in front of you. And the reason why your ego is out in front of you is because your ego is, people think of ego as a totally bad thing, which is not. You know what I mean? The reason why we're still here on this earth today is because we have an ego. You know what I mean? The ego allowed us to survive a lot of different things. The only thing now is that the ego has been systematically developed to almost have a life of its own now. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
if you don't check your ego and put it behind you and lead with yourself first and learn how to use your ego when it makes sense, then your ego's driving the bus. And your ego will get you into a lot of BS. It'll bring you a lot of hurt. It'll put you in situations where you're like, damn, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Or you do something and then you're like, wow, I can't believe I did that. You know
Yep.
what I mean? I don't think I would ever do anything like that. And the truth is, you wouldn't do anything like that, but your ego did that. It took you for the ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just get to the second thing, and then we'll break into like a conversation. The second thing, the first thing was stop adding so much meaning to everything. Stop creating these stories and learn to just deal with what actually is happening. You know what I mean? Ask yourself that. Okay, what actually happened? Take your
Yeah.
feelings out of it. Take people's names out of it, because sometimes we deal with situations based on the person that's in there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if Donnie does something, I can treat it totally different than if someone else does it, because it's Donnie. Like,
Yeah.
separate the people and just look at the actions, what happened, and deal with it that way.
That's so funny. Uh,
What happened?
no, it's just because like I have a friend that's very, very forgetful, like very, very forgetful. And it's like at first I was like, well, this guy's an asshole. I was like, what the hell? And now it's just like, oh, well, that's just him.
Yeah, because you
But
now
if
you
anybody
like,
else
yeah,
did it, I'd be like, wait a minute, what the hell? We already talked about this.
you're like,
Like,
what's
you
up
don't
with this
listen.
asshole?
It's like you don't listen. Now it's just like, oh, that's just him. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So don't add meaning, don't create the stories. The last thing and the most important thing, this will this will free you up in ways you couldn't even imagine. You know what I mean? Like, this will allow you to move through life. And I'm gonna say a big statement here, and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what? But this will allow you to move through life avoiding 90% of situations that could bring you anger. 90% of situations, I'll even say 95% of situations that can put you in an angry space.
Yeah.
95% of situations that can make you sad. 95% of situations that could stress you out. It'll allow you to stay in a place of power, in a place of joy,
Mm,
moving through life. And that's
mm.
this is what I would say is the Coach Brown golden rule.
Uh-oh.
Donnie's like, God. Donnie's like, I never heard the Coach Brown golden rule. Oh, hold up. Let me do a little line. Let me do a little horn for it. Yeah. All right. So the Coach Brown golden rule is this.
Golden rule.
Golden rule. Don't take anything personal. It's
Mm,
set for your crimes against yourself. You know what I mean? Don't
yeah.
take what anybody else does to you personal, because the things that other people do to you have nothing to do with you. It all has to do with them and what they have going on inside of themselves. You know what I mean? So if you go to the store and you're checking out at the cash register, and the lady at the cash register is a straight jerk, giving you an attitude, not bagging your stuff right, the average person will be in that line and be like, "Yo, what's wrong with this lady?" Like, "Yo, you know what I mean?" You get that energy of like, "Oh,
Mm,
look at this." But if you understand that you can't take anything personal in that instance, you won't feel any kind of way, because you'll understand that this person is going through something. Has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? I don't know
yeah.
them. I didn't do anything to them. You know what I mean? I didn't create this behavior inside of them. They're going through something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you can learn not to take other people's behavior personal, it'll free you up, because what happens is someone starts acting a certain way, and then we take it personal. So now we're in that behavior with them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're acting like this, so
Yep.
now I'm acting like that. Like, no, you gotta understand who you are and how you act, and stay inside of that. Don't allow other people's energy or actions or behavior to pull you out of your space and bring you into their space, because
Yep.
you already know that misery loves company. You know what I mean? So the person that's upset, the person that's mad, the person that's sad, they want to bring you over there with them. You
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
say, no, I'm staying over here. You know what I mean? And whatever you're doing, however you're acting, you know what? I understand that's not about me. Whatever you're going through, I hope it works out for you. You know what I mean? God bless, whatever you want to call it, but
Yeah.
send them some good energy. Keep your smile on and keep pushing. You'll be able to move through so much once you realize that most of the things you're experiencing are not personal. The only thing that's personal is what you do to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The crimes you do it. If you're procrastinating, that's a personal crime on yourself. If you're being lazy, that's a personal crime on yourself. If you're not
Yep.
keeping your own word, that's a personal crime on yourself. Take those things personal. But the things that other people are doing, you cannot take it personal, because it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. And you're not that special. I always tell people that you're not that special. People think that they're so special, and that you know um these
Every
people are
situation is
out to
about
get
them.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's about them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I don't know about you, but I noticed that working in sales, you learn to deal with people's attitudes with kindness
Yes.
all
Hmm.
the time. Like every time, like I deal with customers now, and it's like every time I deal with someone that has like an attitude, I kill them with kindness. I'm just like, oh, sorry you feel that way. I really am. Like I don't. I see some people kick back. I see some people kick back some attitude back, and I'm like, it just ends in like just confrontation. If you I've killed them with kindness so much that they've completely turned around their attitude and have been, "Oh, I'm sorry for being in a bad mood. I'm just
Hmm.
having a bad day." Because it wasn't
Exactly.
about me. I just walked into that situation, so there's no way that that could physically be about me, you know?
Yep.
So I've noticed that being yourself in a situation where it's hard to be yourself is definitely like be I always have up good energy and stuff like that. So I mean, you know me. I'm hyper, I'm
Hmm.
friendly to be around, so I don't let and I had to like fix that because when we first started doing sales and stuff like that, it was like match their energy,
Yeah.
match their energy to get on their level.
Hmm.
And then it was like, well, wait a minute. If they're in a bad mood and I'm matching that enemy, that's not good. Like, that's not going to work out for me. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to match my good energy to their, like, I'm not going to overdo it so that they're like, wow, this guy's really annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep.
you just got to like find that medium. And
Hmm.
I think if you are in a situation where you're constantly going to have to be dealing with people that are on edge, that are frustrated, that snap in 2 seconds, I think good sales, like a sales class, like to like people, like dealing with people, stuff like that, would be
Hmm.
something to like look into because like I learned a lot from just sales,
Hmm.
just dealing with customers, dealing with people, understanding, like trying to get on that level because I mean at that point you needed to make money. So like you had to sell stuff, you had to get on their level so that way even if you went to a very happy person, a very angry person, a very sad person, you knew how to deal with all those situations.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
think
Yep.
that's good that I don't know. Is there like I don't know what else you call that? Like what?
Well, what I would say is this. Well, let's read a couple of the comments real quick. Mega said, that's it. It's just a reflection of yourself. If you If you do, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. Yep, that's right. Judging other people doesn't define them; it defines
He
you.
gi he gives hugs too.
Oh, Ben said, "Wait, you give hugs, Donnie?
It's true, it's
Hugs,
true,
hugs are
it's
the
true,
best. Hugs
it's
are the
true.
best
It's
for
not
real.
bad, it's not bad.
Not
Listen,
like
I'm
a
a
hug to
lovable
change
person.
somebody's day. Yeah.
I'm a
You know
lovable
what? I'll say
person.
this about Donnie. Donnie's a very jolly guy. You know what I mean? And when Donnie's in a bad mood, he just goes to his corner. Like
Yeah.
if
I
no,
don't
I know
bug
if Donnie's in
people.
a bad mood, if he's just not talking, I'm like, this guy's in a bad mood. I'll just like give him the
It's
space. You
true,
know what I
it's
mean?
true, it's true. Yeah, I put myself in a corner. I just like, you know what? There's no need to bring everybody else down, and I don't want to start a fight between, especially like someone like you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
we're best friends. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not gonna call you up and be like, you know what? You don't understand. Screw you. No, I'm just gonna let myself cool down, and then I'll talk to you,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
there's no point in bringing everybody down. Because I know you, and you match. You're in sales too. You match levels. So
Yeah.
if I came at you with like some, negativity, you're probably gonna, the rest of the day, even though you won't give it back to me, you'll probably have those thoughts in my head, like in your head, like, damn, I'm starting to feel negative too today.
But you know what the thing is with the how you said match the energy. One of the things I teach my guys on Cape Cod is you want to match the energy, but you only match the energy in the beginning so you can connect with them, and then you can take them right out of their energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I've
like,
started I learned how to do that too. Yeah, I know
yeah,
exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. And you said the sales thing. The thing about sales is another thing is like what people don't
I say
realize.
sales, I'm talking like like, it's
No,
just
but it's
like,
real though. It is
yeah, yeah,
sales because all of life is a sale.
yeah. It's
Like
true.
all of human interaction is all sales.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like if you want your wife or wife if you want your husband to if you're on the couch watching some TV and you're mad comfortable, you know what I mean? And you want your significant other to hook you up with a nice toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's sales. You know what I mean? It's like, hey babe, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. Hey, would you mind just hook me up a quick peanut butter and jelly? I'm so comfortable right now. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. I'll get it for you. That was a sale. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if you handle that wrong, she'll be like,
Yeah.
"Get your own damn sandwich."
Yep.
Like, you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
So all of life is a sale. So you're correct in that. You know what I mean? Um, then what was the
I
other thing we
think
were
a
supposed to talk
little
about?
slide in life too, there's a little slide of, like what, reverse role play? Like, not no, like, yeah, like,
Whoa, is this getting sexual?
no, 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 you know what I'm trying to, like, what do you say?
Just
Like,
kidding.
when you when you're trying to get something here, right? Let's say
Yeah.
you're trying to like buy this pen, and
Yep.
then you oversell it by, oh, I want this pen. Like it's like, this is $1 million, this is $20.
Yep.
So you tell them, hey, I'm really thinking about getting this $1 million one, but I'm probably just gonna settle this $20 one. Well, the expect that's a lot more doable. So they
Hmm.
go for the $20 one. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like
You're making it
that.
digestible.
Exactly. So I
Yep.
think like that is like life too. Like that happens all the time.
Hmm. 100%. 100%. Um, the other
Yeah.
thing we was
So
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, go ahead. Where you going with that?
I think we were gonna say the same thing because you said, "How do you?" Other question was, "How do you deal with
Yeah,
somebody?"
okay, yeah, that's where I was just going with that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So how would you so let's say I'll give you a scenario. You're in an office situation, right? And your
Hmm.
coworker snaps. You have to talk to your coworker all day,
Yeah.
right? And he or she snaps within the most amount of pressure, like the littlest amount of pressure, they lose control, or any small problem, they lose control. And you have to go tell them about a problem
Yep.
in a small situation. So how would you go about dealing with somebody that is a short fuse?
All right. So there's two different things I would add. I'm gonna stick to the number two just to
Okay.
make it real short because I'll just start talking all
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
place.
No, it's all right.
Uh, so two things. Number one would be to always lead with the solution.
Okay.
The thing about it is that people like to lead with the problem, and
Mhm.
when you lead with the problem, you put the person that you're bringing this information to at a disadvantage. You know what I
Yep.
mean? If I come to you and I lead with the solution first, hey Donnie, I'm thinking that we should do XYZ because of this situation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that we should do XYZ because every time that we do, ABC, it
Mhm.
tends to get these results and it's not working. So if we do XYZ, we'll be good.
So you
You know
just
what I mean?
completely taking the problem out of the situation, because now they're not being stressed out by, I have to figure out the situation. Now I have to figure it out. I do all the work, yada yada yada. Like now
Exactly.
you already came to them with the solution. So like, hey, I'm gonna need your help to execute this, but I figured out this is the way to go.
Exactly. If I come to you and I'd be like, "Yo, ABC is not working, man. It's just not working."
Mm.
Now you're like, "What do you mean it's not working?" You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. There's
Now it's
no
a
like,
whole thing.
yeah, like you
There's
don't see in NASA, they don't just like, something happened and they're like, you know what? It's just it doesn't work. There's always somebody working on like something like,
yeah.
hey, we're working on this because this isn't working, but I think we're good. I think we've got a solution. I think we're good. Yeah.
But the
I
same
like
thing is true in friendships, relationships. It's the same thing. You always got to lead with the solution. You know what I mean?
I
Because
do
when you
that
lead,
all the time in my relationship. All the
I
time. Like
yeah,
if
I
we have
know.
a small situation, it's not even like a bad like I'm not like, well, this isn't working. We do like, we should do this because of this. Like this,
Hmm.
we should try this because of this. Like it's not like we don't just, it's not working. Sorry. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, yep, yep. So you just got to lead with that solution. Because when you lead with the solution, you take that anxiety away from
Yeah.
the other person. You take that wondering because people stop wondering. We like, what do you mean it doesn't work? Now they're
Yeah.
starting to add to it. You know what I mean? They're starting to
This
add a
yeah,
story and scenarios, and before you know it, they're fighting. They're
there's
fighting something
so
that
many
doesn't
roads
exist.
that is it me? Is it you? Like, why isn't it working? Is it this
Exactly.
job? Is
Did I
it,
say
is
something?
is the whole project over? Like, what do we do? Is our relationship no, it's just the situation that didn't work out right in that second. And here's the solutions.
Yep.
Here's you don't go to the president and just say, hey, it's not working. There's always a couple of folders like, here's your options. You choose the options, and here's the situation.
Exactly. So yeah, you got to lead with the solution. The second thing was another Coach Brown golden rule. Can
Uh,
I drop one more
Go
or
ahead. Go ahead. It's the golden rule buzzer.
gonna let me do a horn for the second golden rule because this one's big. This is another golden rule. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, Coach Brown golden rule of dealing with someone who is quick to anger, quick to go off the rails. Um, the second golden rule. Actually, this is a golden rule for dealing with anybody,
Yeah.
but specifically a person who angers easily, a person who feels like they have all the answers, a person who doesn't sway like they believe what they believe no matter what the hell you tell them. You it's just like their world, it's their way or the highway type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um so any person, but specifically difficult people to deal with, you know what I mean? Is this. The question is the fill in the answer. Fill in the blank, I mean. The question
Is the answer.
is the answer. So always ask the question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
when you leave with a question, what you do is you give the other person an opportunity to say it themselves. Because
Mm,
if you say it, or if I say it, it's wrong. You know what I mean? But if you say it, it's right. So if I can get you to say what I'm thinking and it's coming from you, now it's right. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
if I'm like, hey, you should do this, this, and that. Now you're like, what do you mean I should do this, this, and that? I'm not going to listen to you. You can't tell me what to do. Da, da,
You
da.
can't
Like
tell me
there's
what to
all
do.
that different energy. You know what I mean?
You're not my boss.
Or exactly. So if I'm like, what if I'm like, oh, you know what? Yo, what if you did do 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 do? Do you think that would work? And you're like, you know what? I think that would work. And then we do that, and then
Yeah,
after we do it, I'm like, damn, you know what? I'm glad that you decided to do this because it really changed everything.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're like, yeah, I know, I did that.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? So the question is always the answer. You always have to ask yourself, what question do I need to ask in this situation to get the other person to see what it is that I'm seeing that I think that they're not seeing? Not what can I tell them or what can
yeah,
I show them? Because that's remember we said before, the average person is being led by the ego. The ego is the guard dog that's out in front of them. You know what I mean? And it's trying to block different things from actually getting to the individual. So if we can come in question form, questions will allow us to slide past the ego and get to the person. And then
yeah,
also questions flatter the ego. Because when I ask you a question, it's basically your ego is going to view it as though, oh, you know what? That's right. He's asking me because I'm just saying this is how the ego works. I'm the smart one here. That's why he's asking me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm the brains of this thing. That's why he's asking
yeah,
me. Or I know better than he does. That's why he's asking me. That's how the ego sounds and works. So when you give people or when you give the ego an opportunity to flare up, but it sends the other person to where you want them to go, you're
yeah.
always gonna win. You just have to be masterful at forming questions that
It's an
lead
art of
people where you want them to go.
manipulation.
Who?
What?
You made it sound bad. The art of manipulation.
It
Come
is.
on, man. But yeah. So doing those simple things will stop you from catching a slap like Chris Rock did.
Oh, slapped
Ooh.
him.
Instead,
Hey,
you gotta
on that
slap
topic,
yourself.
real quick, now that
Yeah.
we got the information out of the way,
I know we went through a whole rant.
did
We
you
started with a
yeah,
slap.
Coach Brown came out. I had to pull Leash
Jesus.
back a little bit. I was like,
Sweet
"Yo,
baby.
put that buzzer on."
Wah,
No.
wah, wah.
Did you see the interview with, what was his name? Jim Carrey? Oh, it's not funny.
Yes. No, I did see the interview.
Did you see
When
that?
Yeah.
He was like, I would have handled it, I would have waited till the end and then sued him for $300 million. I'm like, What?
Yeah, no, he's right though. If you straight up slap me for real on national TV, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're gonna pay me, bro. Either well, number one, I'm saying in
I
that
mean
specific
I mean,
situation.
all right,
But
let's talk about theoretically, he is
yeah,
paying him. I mean, his sales are way up.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah, for
gained
sure.
that 300
But
million in
you know what it is? He's the guy that got slapped for the rest of his life. He's not gonna shake that off.
yeah.
You
I
know what
don't
I
know,
mean? Like you think
it's
of
hard
Chris
to
Rock,
say
you're gonna
that
think
it
of the slap.
was yeah, I mean,
But I don't know. Was the slap real or was it not
I
real?
don't know because if you look at his face, he was shocked. Like, he was dumbfounded. Now, if it was a setup, right?
Yeah.
Did Chris Rock know about it at first? You know what I'm saying?
If it
Like,
was a setup, I think he would have to know
I know he would
about it.
have to, but, like, he looked very surprised, like, "Are you guys gonna cut?"
But he's
Like,
he's an actor though.
that is true, that
And
is
why did
true.
they not cut? Someone just got slapped on national TV.
And was
Why did they
cussing
not
somebody
cut?
out. They didn't go to
Exactly. They're
commercial.
saying my effing like why did they not cut? And on top of that, where was the security? Like why didn't the security come
Well,
out?
I mean, is security gonna tackle Will Smith?
Maybe not tackle, but come out. You just had a guy come up, slap somebody, and then also was just like in the seat screaming his head off.
Yeah.
You think security would come out and at least be in front of him,
In
like,
the
whoa, cool
area,
out. You
yeah,
know what I
like
mean?
yeah.
Oh, Andrea in the house. What's up, girl? I don't know if
Andrew
she's
the host?
back home or not, but
Brr, brr,
what up, girl?
brr.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, let's give her a horn. Game time. But yeah, so I don't know if it was real or not, but it did bring up a conversation of how do you prevent yourself from getting there? Because if it was real, Will Smith has been going through a lot of public ridicule over his situation with his wife, which is his business. But when you put it out to the world, now it's the world's business, and there's a
Yeah.
lot that comes along with that. You know what I mean? Like if you have a relationship and you keep your relationship between you and your significant other,
Mhm.
you're good. But once
Yeah.
you bring your relationship to Facebook, you bring your relationship to once you bring your relationship to the internet, it's not your relationship anymore.
Nope.
It's our relationship. It's everybody's relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's everybody's at that point. So
That's
it
just
takes
like
the intimacy out of the situation.
and that it must be hard being famous because, like, it's very hard to be a celebrity
Yep.
and have a private relationship.
Yeah. I mean, we go
Very
through it.
hard.
We go through it. We're kind of celebrities.
Yeah, she does.
I'm
She
joking.
I know. We are celebrities.
She puts her
I have
business out
security
there. Exactly.
waiting for my next I'm taking a flight out of here in a couple hours.
Yeah. Ben said she puts her business out there all over her show. Exactly.
She does.
Exactly. And
She
that's
does. That show is the worst thing that ever happened to them because it's it's good to see, like, their homebody self, but
yep.
it's I don't know. There's too much information being put out. It's almost like they want it to be out there, and then
hmm
when it is out there, they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that,
Yeah.
people are reacting like that." Like,
But
you
you know
knew
what
what
it
was
is?
gonna happen.
People love that type of stuff. It's juicy. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, hold on. Let's see. Ben said, where's the rim shot for Donnie?
Oh,
What the
you just give me the booze.
I wasn't sure what the rim shot was, so I just had to do that real quick.
The brumpsh.
Oh, that's the rim shot?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. See, I don't even know what it is. Yeah, let's go. Game time. But yeah, no, Ben's right. They put their business out there all over the internet, doing these red talk tables, blah 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 blah. And yeah, it's not healthy for normal people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're celebrities. They get paid to incite juicy gossip and get people to like, oh my God, did you see this? Oh my God, did you see that? You know what I mean? But what happens is normal people follow suit and start putting their juicy stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
And guess what? That ain't generating no income for you.
Yep.
That's just generating your way out of whatever relationship you're in.
It's true. It's true. And now employers are watching all that stuff too.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah,
you potentially could lose a job for doing exactly what they're doing.
for having some craziness
They
on you.
made it their job, so you follow them and you might lose your job.
Exactly. Exactly. So what do
Sheesh.
you think about just let's take names out of it, let's take everything out of it. And I want to
Yeah.
know what you guys think too in the comments. Um Someone says something crazy. Where we're at right now as a society. You know what I mean? I would say as a society. Someone says something crazy to you. Are we as a society in a place where you slap the hell out of them,
No.
or are we in a place of society where we don't go to violence unless we're being threatened with violence?
As a
Like where we at?
society,
Yes.
you don't slap anybody anymore. To at like today, like today's society.
Like the
It just
slap is
doesn't
dead,
happen.
right?
It's the unsure. Like, yeah, we're taking names out of it. So it's not the two people that it's not Chris and it's not Will.
Yeah.
So
It's just
if
two
it's
two
two
people.
normal people, absolutely not. You have no idea what could happen. What if someone was packing? You know, like what if Chris had something on him? You know, like you
Hmm.
have no idea these days. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, right? Let's take violence out of it. You know, yes, he slapped them, right? Let's keep that in there. But let's say he's not gonna react back. 3 days later, you can get a letter in the mail saying you're being summoned. You're going to court for harassment or
Yeah.
assault. I mean, sorry, not harassment,
Yeah. Yeah.
assault.
Yeah.
Now you're potentially going to jail because you just slapped somebody because they verbally assaulted you.
Hmm.
As soon as you add action to it, it becomes off of them and onto you.
Yeah.
If
Now
you
it's like
just left it
yeah.
at the verbal part, they can get in trouble too for that. Obviously, they're probably not going to go to jail, depending on what it is. But it's crazy. Like I don't know, it just seemed too fake. It seemed too fake, but I want to say like part of me believes that it could be real, just because
Yeah.
the reactions and stuff like that. And I think it was so real and so like spur of the moment
Hmm.
that even the show, if I'm just saying, for example, if it was
Hmm.
like not set up, it looked so set up that I think the show was even confused. Like the
Yeah.
Oscars, they were
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what the hell just happened?" And then you
Yeah. Like
see,
what did
like,
we
because
just
you just
see?
saw him smile, then he got mad, walked up there and slapped him, and then he was smirking on his way back.
Yeah. And then he was
So I
crying at his
think it
feet.
was if it was not set up, I think it was just like, "Watch this. This kid thinks he's gonna talk about us. I'm gonna go smack the shit out of him real quick." Like
Yeah.
I think between him and his wife was a setup, but like if it wasn't between him and Chris,
Mm. Oh, so
you
you
know what
think
I'm
him and his
saying? Like,
wife like, yo, go
I'm
smack
about to
this
go
dude.
smack the shit out of him
Hmm.
and scare the hell out of him. Watch this.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
like I don't think he was as mad as he claims to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Nah,
he
I
would have
got you.
it's Will Smith, dude. He would have walked right out of there. He'd be like, "You know what? I'm done. You can send me my award."
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. For real. It's crazy.
I mean, you
Crazy,
see
crazy.
if you watch his videos, like, of, like, different things about life and how he teaches his kids, if you watch the whole, like, all of his YouTube videos behind the scenes and stuff,
Yep.
he's not the kinda guy that just, like,
Slap
will
somebody.
yeah, like, he's not a violent person. He's just, like he'll be all over Twitter, he'll be all over the medias. He'll probably be on his stuff, and that's about it. Did you leave?
I'm still here. What the hell? Let me see. Oh, we switch sides. Switch sides. All right. So yeah, it's 8 o'clock. Then today went by
You just blow
quick.
your nose?
Yeah, I did. I had to go off camera, man.
Okay.
People don't want to see that, man. I try to keep my private stuff private. You know what I mean? But
No, I feel like I'm looking away from you. Hold on.
oh, hold on.
No, no,
I'll
no, you're
switch this
good.
back.
Oop, right there.
How the hell did you do that, man? Where they do that at?
Where
All
they
right.
do that
So
at.
so good news.
Yeah.
People want some good news, right?
Yeah.
Good news. Next week we have a special guest coming through.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Jay Slay. You guys are like, who's Jay Slay? You're gonna find out next week.
Okay.
And I think what we're gonna talk about, because Jay Slay actually has a podcast, Slay Your Perspective. And actually she used to, well, when I had long hair, like braids and dreads and all that type of stuff,
Whoa.
she was my hairdresser. Like she would braid my hair, she would
You
twist
got
my
any pictures
dreadlocks, all that type of stuff. What?
of your hair?
Me with long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You knew me when I had the
I know.
you know what I
I'm just
mean?
messing with you.
Donnie's like, would you cut that thing off?
No,
For real.
it was like it started small and then it got bigger and bigger. And I'm like, all right, man, this ain't the
You're like, come on,
60s. Let's
man.
go.
But Jay Slade will be joining us next week. And I think what the conversation is gonna get to, she doesn't know this yet because
Uh-oh.
we didn't really talk about it. But it'll be our secret because I know she's out of the state right now, so she's not like watching, I don't think. But yeah, so next week what we're gonna talk about is the dynamic, the dynamic of man and woman, you know what I mean? Let's say man, woman, and we might even possibly include child, um, and just the relation between men and women right now in masculine and feminine and all these different things that are changing before our eyes. You know what I mean? Society in a construct. Well, I wouldn't call it a construct, but that's what they call it, like a construct of man and like I don't. I'll keep that word out of it. Let me keep that word out of it. I would just say that we're going to talk about the relationship between male, female, uh, and then also child, like that triangle,
Yeah.
and where we're at right now as a society, and what are some of the things that we should be mindful of and be aware of, and then what are some things that might be working in our benefit that we should keep close attention to or get involved or actually incorporate into what we're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think it'll be a powerful show to help start to rebuild the bond between men and women, because with it going from a complementary state to a competitive state, you know what I mean? There's been a lot that's been lost, and there's been some that's been gained. So we're gonna weigh it out and talk about it and pull it apart and have the hard conversations. And I hope you guys will tune in to lend your perspective and about the dynamic between men and women and even child and where that's going now.
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you think, Donnie? Sound like a
No, it
good
sounds
conversation?
really good. That sounds like a good episode. Sounds like one I'm just gonna sit on the sideline and take some information. No,
Nah.
I know I've seen my yeah, I don't want to get into it right now, but I've seen different generations and how they act towards different people, and I can
Mhm.
see I'm kind of like I sit back and watch. Like I see what's going on. Like I'm not all up in it. I'm just kind of like, all right, I see where that's going. I see how that worked out. Like I'm not a big history guy, but I see like what happened and I see what's happening now and I all right, well, I can kind of cross T's and dot
Yeah,
I's.
like I can see how this is playing out.
I see how yeah, like I see where it came from and where it is now. So I mean, I definitely we can definitely talk about that for sure.
Nice, nice. So anybody looking to have a conversation about it, and then also anybody looking to enhance. Maybe you
Mm.
are in a relationship with someone where you're struggling because there's a breakdown in, like, you know what I mean, inside of the situation, and maybe having a better understanding of the uh the union, you know what I mean, and how the union potentially is intended to be formed, and some of the things that may be hindering your situation. I think it'll be powerful
I think it's gonna be a good episode.
for sure.
Might have to go past an hour a little bit on that one.
No, what? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think so. I think so for real. But all right, so yeah, that's it for tonight, man. Unless you want to keep going, I don't even care.
It doesn't matter.
Nah, I'm just
I'm
joking.
running out of stuff to talk about with the
I'm
sub.
joking. Now we gotta respect the people's time. They came to kick it
Yes.
with us for an hour,
Yes.
so we gotta respect their time. But all right. So do you want to give your final thought, or you want me to go first?
Oh, final thoughts. I mean, yeah, no, I'll go. I think it's important to realize that just because someone is short fused doesn't mean that they're an asshole.
Mm,
They could be going through a lot of stuff. You have no idea, especially if you don't really know the person, if it's a coworker. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what's going on in their personal life. So, just be respectful. Like don't assume that they're just an asshole and try to interrogate them every single day. Maybe when they're on their cool point, talk to them like, hey, just let you know, like maybe I'm not the person to talk to, but there's people to talk to. Like I wouldn't, go out and say that, but you know what I mean? Like, just try to tell them that there is people here that can help, and before they snap, let them cool off. Let them grab the reins. Let them, if you guys are working at something and it's a project, maybe let them lead the project a little bit, just so that way they feel empowered and all that. Like, make them feel like they don't have to. And like we talked about earlier, give them options. Instead of just giving them a problem, give them solutions.
Mhm.
So that way they can. It almost seems like they're coming up with the solution by giving them multiple choice. I think that's important. We gotta get that thing away from you.
You know I'm the clap master. I love the clap button, man. It's my favorite thing they ever did on here. Oh, but wait, there's more. I won't do it though.
Okay.
We'll save it for the next show. But
What's your final thoughts?
my final thoughts on tonight is this. Um, the entertainment of the situation is it real? Is it not real? You know what I mean? Which, obviously there's people on both sides of the aisle. Some people are like, oh, it was definitely staged. Some people are like, oh no, it was real. But at the end of the day, that's the least important part of what happened. You know what I mean? The most important part is this: what did that situation create for people? You know what I
Mm,
mean? Because now you're looking at that situation that just empowered a lot of people to hold off and start slapping people.
yep.
You know what I mean? Because now people are going to be like, oh, what did that person say? Oh, I'm about to go Will Smith on him. You know what I mean? That's going to be a whole thing. Like, I'm about to go Will Smith mode. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it empowered people to really go back to the slap. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the problem with the slap is that it's much more um it's intended to be much more disrespectful than a punch. Like if you punch me in my face, you know, if we square up and you punch me in the face, okay, I took a punch. But if you slap me, it's kind of like disrespectful.
So
You know what I mean? It's
wait a
just like
minute.
if you just slap me, like at least close your hand, man.
You're
Come on.
telling me that it's safer for me to punch you than slap you?
I would rather have you punch me than slap. If you slap me, now I
Hey,
got to stop making it
fair
mean
enough,
something.
brother.
I'm gonna
Fair
stop
enough.
adding meaning to it. Like, why did he slap me? Like, did he slap me? No, I'm just playing.
Nah,
It's jokes, guys.
it
But what I'm saying is this: to
it is
what I'm,
it is a sign of disrespect. It is.
yeah, it is, it is. You know what I mean? But I was joking more than anything. I want you guys to think I'm being serious. But it did open,
Yeah.
it empowered people to think that it's cool to now start, slapping people or getting physical. But what I want you guys to really understand is this: you're not playing by the same rule book. Like Will Smith can slap somebody
Yeah.
and continue with his life.
Yeah.
You slap somebody, you will not continue with your life. Your
Yep.
life is gonna take a major turn. You
Because
know
if
what I
he
mean?
sued him for $300 million, Will Smith, that's a check.
Yeah,
There you
he's
go.
hey, there you go. Problem solved. You know what I
You know what
mean?
I'm saying? Like, if
Meanwhile,
someone
you're gonna be
slaps you
sitting
with
in
a three hundred
intake
million
somewhere.
dollar, yeah, you're not coming out of that one.
You're gonna be sitting in intake somewhere. You'll lose your job and like
No,
all
I
this
get what you're
weirdo
saying.
stuff.
You're saying, they're bringing violence to a non-violent situation, and it doesn't need
Exactly.
that's opening doors for people that watch them, and I mean, that's Will Smith is idols to people. Like, he's
Yeah.
somebody's idol. Like, people look up to him. Like,
Hmm.
everybody has that idol. So I mean, Will Smith is a very likable person. He's very, he does a lot of great things. He's come up with a lot of great movies. For him to roll off the rails like that a little bit is that's not good for his followers.
Yes. Yes. 100%. 100%. Um. So bottom line is this. Let me say the bottom line is this. Uh, I would just say implement the things we talked about earlier, which is deal with things for what they are. Don't make it more than what it is. Don't try to attach all this meaning and significance
Yeah.
to insignificant things. Like if a certain things happens, just look at what happened. That's it. You don't need to add all this meaning and all of this significance to something that's insignificant. Is just look at the actual action. Then also realize that actually, all of the things that happen to you are not personal. You know what I mean? Like things that other people are doing to you is not personal. The only thing that's personal is what you do to yourself. So when you encounter people, you encounter situations where you feel like you're being wronged or you feel like someone's doing something to you personally, you gotta disattach the personalization of that situation and realize that that person is going through something, therefore they're acting out in whatever way it is that you're witnessing, that you're experiencing, but it has nothing to do with you. And when you
Yeah.
can understand that, it's going to allow you to stay in a place of power, stay in control, and not be at the effect of what's happening outside of you. Let me see. Blake in the house. Let's go. Blake said Smith finished transitioning to a woman on Sunday. Yeah, I was not in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it was real or not real. It was a very distasteful thing when I seen it. You know what I mean? And it
Mm.
was like, come on, man. Come on. Well, you can't do this, man. Because everything about it was wrong. You slapped the smallest comedian in America. Well, Chris, what's his name? Kevin Hart might be smaller, but he got muscle. Chris Rock is just tall and skinny. Um, but yeah, he slapped the dude, and he surprise slapped him. He didn't even square up. Like, hey, listen, that's it, man. Put your hands up. Let's go. Game time. He just slapped him. So that wasn't good. Let's see. Best followers, primes,
Yeah, don't worry
and
about that. I just
oh,
blocked that.
okay.
That's an ad.
That's an ad. They tried to put an ad on us, man.
Yeah, I just blocked that. Don't worry.
But yeah. So that's pretty much it, man. Just stay in your place of power. Don't take
Mm,
things personal. Stop adding meaning to everything. And you have to do the work to take your ego from out in front of you and put it behind you. You know what I mean? Or actually take it out from in front of you and tuck it in your pocket and learn when you need to take it out. Because
yeah.
sometimes the ego can be very useful, but you got to make sure that you're in control and you pull it out in situations when it's useful, and that it's not the guiding
Ooh.
force in your life.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, he said be more like MLK.
Oh,
That's a whole
my
nother
bad.
episode.
My
I was
bad.
like,
I read that wrong. All right.
what you thought it said?
I thought there was an I in there. I thought he said be more like milk. I was like, what? Good for the bones?
Be more like milk.
I now I'm looking at it. I have
Be
these
more
bright
like
ass
milk.
lights, so I'm
Disgusting.
like just looking at the screen like,
Actually, Blake's coming on the show too, man.
oh.
Me and Blake talk. He's coming on the show.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be a whole nother caliber show. It's gonna be a lot of hurt feelings and bad emails and all that type of stuff. But
Oh boy.
we're the Uncut Show, and we
That looks
have
like
great
a
conversations.
YouTube exclusive only.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a private stream. But all right, so that's
Uh,
it. We'll get out of here. We went 16 minutes over. We appreciate everybody who stayed
well, we
around with
started
us.
16 minutes
And
late.
we did. You know what?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, so we did do an hour. We will see you guys next week with special guest Jay Slay, which we can't wait for. It's going to be exciting. And in the meantime, everybody get the video, share it up. If you got something from tonight and you enjoyed it, share it up so we can start to build this audience, build our community. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and hit the bell button so you get notified every time that we go live. If you're watching on Facebook, please like the Uncut page, and then also hit the subscribe button so that way you get notified every time that we go live. And that's pretty much it. Donnie, you got anything? Any last word before we slide up out this joint, man?
No, I think we answered them all. I think we're good. Just slap yourself self instead.
Come on, man.